Today's video is sponsored by Surfshark VPN. It has been a little while since I've given you guys an Instagram poll so you can tell me what you want to see. So this week I gave you 4 brand new options and you guys honestly chose Joshua Weissman's Chipotle burrito. Only because that one needs a bunch of specialty dried peppers, cheeses, spices. I'm gonna have to order all that stuff online, so I'll get to it next week. For this week though, I figured we could do the recipe that came in second, binging with Babish's key lime pie. This one's nice because I'm pretty sure I have all these ingredients at home already, except for one, the key limes, which should not be all that difficult to find. Also, quick reminder that these little buddies go on pre-sale today. They'll be up for 2 weeks, and this is a pre-sale, so if they don't hit the minimum order requirements, they won't be made at all, and you'll all be refunded. So if you are interested, hit up the link sooner rather than later, and I might just have a special surprise for a select few of you who order some of these. So with all that being said, let's get right into this one. I am very relieved to report that there's only 3 very simple components that make up this recipe. We're gonna make the graham cracker crust, the key lime filling, and then the whipped cream to go on top. Before I could start any one of those 3, I did want to give a quick shout out to my friends over at Surfshark VPN. They've supported the channel before, today they are back again. But if you are unfamiliar, Surfshark helps protect you and your data by securely connecting you to the internet and protecting your information by sending it through an encrypted tunnel. In addition to keeping your private information private, Surfshark allows you to browse the internet without ads, trackers, malware, or phishing attempts. So if you're like me and you've ever clicked on a link that you think may have infected your computer and made your information vulnerable, you're not alone, and Surfshark is here to help. And you guys know by now, I don't partner up with just anybody, they gotta hook you guys up as well. So if you want to better protect yourself, click the link in the top line of the description, use promo code Seymour, and get 85% off, plus 3 extra months for free. And after all that, if you're still on the fence, they are now offering a 30-day money-back guarantee, so don't hesitate to try it out for yourself. And this entire offer will only be available for a short time, so I suggest you snag it quick. But back to our key liming activities. I grabbed some sugar and heavy cream, some kosher salt and graham crackers, powdered sugar, some eggs, butter, sweetened condensed milk, vanilla extract, and the star of today's show without question, a whole ton of key limes. I'm feeling pretty good about this recipe. Nothing is out there or crazy, but just in time for me to start measuring ingredients, my scale decided to crap out on me. This one was kind of cheap, and I've had it for a while, so it is what it is. I just converted all of the gram and ounces measurement to liquid and dry measuring cups. If you're making this at home and you don't have a scale either, it ended up being about 1.6 cups of crushed up graham crackers, 1/3 of a cup of powdered sugar, and then about 7 tablespoons of the melted butter. This is probably my favorite pie crust to make, because you don't have to worry about keeping the butter in the dough cold. You just throw it all together with some melted butter. You try to get to this almost kinetic sand consistency. You have to tamp it down in your desired pie dish and then bake it by itself at 325 degrees for about 15 minutes. Next up is the pie filling, which we need 2/3 of a cup of lime juice for. I would imagine there's some other YouTubers and cooking shows out there that would just cut the cameras and use a bottle of lime juice, but no! I sat there and juiced 30 key limes, and my fingers were so pruny and stinging by the end of this, I don't think I'm gonna make another one of these anytime soon. I set that aside and cleaned up the splattered juice that was everywhere, and then started whipping up my egg yolks, some lime zest, dumped in a can of the sweetened condensed milk, which will make up the majority of the volume of this. And then with the paddle attachment, I slowly streamed in my lime juice, which is supposed to magically thicken this because of all the acid in there. In my head, this pie always kind of seemed so distant and difficult. I never would have guessed that there's only really 3 ingredients in the filling. There's no added sugars or thickeners. It's literally just egg yolks, sweetened condensed milk, and lime juice. I let the mixture sit for about 30 minutes. For what reason, I have absolutely no clue, don't ask me. And then I dumped it into my fully cooled graham cracker crust. And it's safe to say I'm a little concerned by how little this filled up the pie dish. I baked it off anyway at 325 for 25 minutes. I let it cool at room temperature and then stuck it in the fridge overnight to let it set completely. The next day, I began working on the very last component, which is the whipped cream. Just grab yourself some heavy whipping cream, some sugar and vanilla, and then beat it until your arm is about to fall off on the table. Also, please don't ask why I am sometimes such a masochist and like to whip cream by hand when I have about 12 different appliances that could do this for me. But no, after about 10 minutes, I got this to a nice stiff peak. I loaded it up in my piping bag and then tried my best to decorate this thing. Much like Babish, I am not a food stylist or decorator by any means. I loaded on some lime zest and some slices of key lime to hopefully help out this whole mess. And there it is. The only thing left to do is to throw in a little dabble of the good stuff and give it a try. So now you guys can see what I meant when I said it didn't look like there was a whole lot of filling. It almost looks like a tart more than an actual pie. And yes, I did try to make this side a little prettier. We're not gonna look at that side. Let's stay over here. This is just so unbelievably smooth and perfectly balanced taste-wise. You get such a kick of lime and acid in the filling, but then that like salty crispiness from the graham cracker crust balances that out. Not that I've eaten a ton of key lime pies in my day. It's probably not even in my like top 3 of pie choices, but this is probably the best one I've ever eaten. It's actually such a strong, addictive flavor. It feels like it has a ton of citric acid in it, the artificial stuff. My mouth is just watering, I could barely speak. My only real nitpick is the proportions. Either use a really small pie dish or make 1.5 times the recipe because it looks a little bit flat. Other than that, freaking delicious. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, leave me a big old like. I'd appreciate it. Thank you again to Surfshark for making this one possible. Another reminder that these guys are only on sale for 2 weeks. So go check it out now if you are interested, because there's not that much time. Other than that, have a fantastic weekend. I will see you right back here next time. Peace.
With the M without the AD. Flipping burgers and my money super lazy. Try and make a meal tonight, they ain't paying me. Try and supersize my life with my A-team. Yeah, our style wasn't wavy, but we had a vision.